North this Easter Monday. I'm Helen Richardson. 300 volunteer mountain rescuers have been out across the weekend in the Lake District as teams dealt with more than 20 incidents. The majority of those rescues took place when Storm Dave was at its peak. Juliet Phillips has this report.
Rescue teams faced the battering winds of Storm Dave as they helped two young men from Tarn Crag late on Saturday, one of them suffering with a broken leg and hypothermia.
They somehow weren't aware of the weather warning. I don't know how you miss it, but they did. So, you know, they just got the full force of it. If it takes 2, 3, 4 hours longer to find somebody in those sort of circumstances, they're potentially life-threatening conditions. And there's no way we're going to get a helicopter up there to speed the evacuation. These are all carried out on foot, you know, sort of several hours getting people down the hill.
In Cumbria, rescuers dealt with more than 20 call-outs across the weekend. Multiple teams had to be deployed to help 4 teenagers who'd been trying to reach a cave on Dove Crag. Most of the call-outs took place during the height of Storm Dave, where there was an amber weather warning for Cumbria and 80 miles per hour wind gusts predicted on higher fells.
We had probably in excess of 300 volunteers out over the course of Saturday into Sunday morning on the various incidents. But cumulatively, probably about something like 70 hours of rescue time. So very labour intensive involving multiple teams. I don't think there were many Lake District teams that weren't involved one way or another, either dealing directly with their own incident or supporting another team.
What would you advise people do then before they go out and about on the fells?
Check the weather, make sure you've got the knowledge and skills for the day, and you know, that includes things like navigation, the ability to navigate, make sure you've got the equipment. So if there's a storm forecast or sort of severe weather of any kind, just reconsider your plans. Think about doing something else. Go for a low-level walk to a coffee shop, and save the big hills for better days.
Juliet Phillips, BBC Look North.
Now, a leaked report into Northumberland Fire and Rescue Service describes a culture of fear at the organisation under its previous leadership. The review was commissioned over a year ago but was never made public. The report says individuals had raised concerns about inappropriate language and high levels of anger. Both the former chief and his deputy were suspended last March and later left the organisation. The fire service says work is already underway with some actions taken immediately following the findings. Now, Hadrian's Wall is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the largest Roman structure still visible in the UK. It brings visitors to our region from all over the world. But rangers say that doesn't stop some dog walkers disposing of their poo bags by hiding them in the wall. Jo Lonsdale reports.
It took 15,000 soldiers 6 years to build, and while much of this stunning landscape would still be familiar to them, there are things which would not. Dog poo bags pushed inside the ancient cracks and holes of their magnificent structure. For those who work here and love the place, it's hard to understand.
It's a real sense of frustration. We have this amazing structure here which so many people want to come and enjoy, and for somebody to think it's acceptable to wedge a poo bag into a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it makes you quite sad.
So why do they do it? Well, it's a popular trail, but there are not many bins, and certainly none along the wall itself.
We're in a national park. The last thing we want is more and more structures along here. It's not difficult for you to carry your poo bag, pop it into your bag, your coat pocket, you can get little pouches to pop it into now, and take it with you until you get somewhere sensible to dispose of it.
Hadrian's Wall is visited by 750,000 people a year, many bringing their pooches with them. But these dog walkers were adamant they would never be among the poo bag hiders.
Oh, it's just lazy, isn't it? It's just, it winds me up. Nobody likes picking up dog mud, but it's part of having a dog, isn't it?
Horrific. Absolutely horrific. There's absolutely no reason why people can't just put it into a bag, take it back home with them. Put it in your rucksack. Easily done. I just think it's just such an eyesore when you walk past as well, and I huff and I chuff about it every time. So, yeah, I'll be picking up after Bobby, promise.
That's disgusting. That is absolutely inappropriate and unnecessary. And why would you do that to our heritage?
The bags are not the only problem rangers face. People climb onto the wall to take selfies. Some leave their litter behind. The message from those who look after this 1900-year-old marvel is, we're lucky to have it. Please treat it with the respect it deserves. Jo Lonsdale, BBC Look North.
There we go. Now, a County Durham historical theme park is hoping to get bigger this summer. Kinron is planning a daytime attraction called the Storied Lands in July. Visitors will be able to explore different historical and mythical settings at the site in Bishop Auckland. The team behind it, the 11 Arches charity, wants planning permission to hold new outdoor shows, including one about Robin Hood. It's hoped they'll help increase visitor numbers. Service is back to normal on the Tyne and Wear Metro after a full shutdown of the network this morning. It was so engineers could replace the control system which operates the overhead cables and lights. Services were back up and running from 10 a.m. Cricket's underway at Durham's Riverside Stadium again. The third day of their match against Kent was called off yesterday after wind damage from Storm Dave, which left the pitch too wet. At lunch, Durham declared on 218 for 9, meaning Kent need 357 to win. And in today's football, having lost their second spot in the Championship to rivals Millwall on Friday, Middlesbrough will try and get back on track as they make the journey to Swansea. Kick-offs at 5:30 with commentary on BBC Radio Tees. Let's take a look at the weather forecast now for the next couple of days. It's Paul Hudson.
Well, thanks very much. Good afternoon. Some lovely weather to come over the next few days, and certainly, although the warmth will build, this afternoon's not looking too bad. It's dry with some sunshine. Not clear blue skies all afternoon. There will be some areas of cloud filtering in from the southwest. Nevertheless, it's fine, lovely weather for getting out and about in, with top temperatures around 13 Celsius, that's 55 Fahrenheit. Now, after a fine and bright evening, overnight will be dry with some lengthy clear periods. If you've got shelter from a southeast breeze, there could be a touch of ground frost. Lowest temperatures in some spots down to 1 or 2 Celsius. Tuesday and Wednesday look absolutely lovely. Temperatures building 19 on Wednesday afternoon, but rain expected on Thursday. That's the forecast.
Thank you, Paul. Well, that's all for me this lunchtime. Peter Harris will be back with the evening news at 6:30. Enjoy the lovely weather.